The greatest party of the summer is officially over. We've got new champions, broken relationships, and the return of the OTC. This week, we've got SummerSlam Fallout, your first look at the Wrestlemania 41 card, and the truth behind the biggest Mark from Texas fan on the soon-to-be-named network. It's time for Final Wrestling Place.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Are you ready to listen to Final Wrestling Place? Kick it! Yeah! Yeah! You wanna be in the good place, fool? You better be doing what you're supposed to do. Bad place, little boy. Good place, little man. Bring it down. Final Wrestling Place. Final Wrestling Place.
Welcome to Final Wrestling Place. I'm Tim.
Oh, I'm still Marcus.
And again, thank you so much for joining us again. However you joined us, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube through the soon-to-be-named network at soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com, we are glad you are here with us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at TNM Shows, on Instagram at Final Wrestling Place. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Ring that notification bell over at youtube.com/@Final Wrestling Place. Be sure to like all our videos. This week on the podcast, of course, we're getting into the good, the bad, the predictable of SummerSlam this past Saturday in Cleveland, Ohio. We're talking about the timing of the return of the big dog himself, Roman Reigns. And Marcus and I dip our feet. I'm doing so well, Marcus. We dip our feet into the pool and take our first stab at what could possibly be WrestleMania 41. But before we go any farther, Marcus, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. No complaints. We got to work on the energy. I know we had a hard talk about hashtag.
Good. No.
We had hashtag up to something season talks.
No, I'm good. Energy's up. Nothing new to report, so I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I'm ready to get to the value, my man.
Oh, I hear you. You're just you hate it when I will ramble on about everything. So
well, I'm just the podcast where like I know the people like At Odds or Wings on Wings or We Need Wrestling, I will listen to the preamble. But for anything else, no, I do not want to listen to the preamble. So in my mind, I do not want to be a preambler.
Oh, nah, man, I need them to care about me. And I don't care. Everybody talks about wrestling, but I talk about wrestling this way. And if you also enjoy me, you also enjoy my love and affinity for Robin Big or anything else I'm super into.
Robin Big is really good.
It is really good. But you know what else is really good? Blind rankings.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tim, you want to go first or second?
I will go first. Okay. Marcus, I need you to rank these 5 gimmick matches.
All right.
Where I'm giving you just the gimmick match in general, and you have to rank it 1 through 5. Very easy. Or is it? So we're going to start with number 1. We're going with a more recent one. The Casino Battle Royale.
Ooh, I do like that a little bit. I feel like they need to iron out the entrances just a little bit, and then I don't like how it's always the Joker at the end, like pretty much always wins. I don't like that. So I'm going to go 4.
Okay. Next up, a favorite of ours. Another battle royal of sorts. It's Feast or Fired.
Ooh. 3.
3. All right. Next up is the King of the Road match.
Oh, King of the Road is so good. I'm going to go 2.
Okay. Just looking at this, one of these has to be the best and one of these has to be the worst.
This is the bed I've made.
This is tough because these are both heavy hitters.
Okay.
So, next up is Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal.
I love the concept, but the fact that it was Coal Miner's Glove, and then like, was it the Texas Death Match was the other one in '93? Felt like there could have been some better choices. Looking at you, Coal Miner's Glove. So gonna go 5.
Okay, that means number 1 is the King of the Mountain match.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Nice. So to recap, Marcus says King of the Mountain 1, King of the Road 2, Feast or Fired 3, the Casino Battle Royale at 4, and Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal at 5. I think you got out about as good as you could.
For me, that is a flawless victory.
That works.
All right, Mr. Tim, here's your 5. I'm going to ask you to rank these 5 SummerSlam events.
Ooh, the SummerSlams.
All right. First up for you is SummerSlam 1994.
Okay. Oh, man, that hurts. Why are you going to do this to me up front?
I know, tough. Bret Owen, Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Leslie Nielsen throughout the entire thing trying to chase down the Undertaker.
Jeff Jarrett versus Mabel.
Domino's Pizza. I just actually bought the shirt off of WWE Shop.
Okay.
So I have it sitting here next to me.
Weekly purchases?
Oh, that was a couple weeks ago. I think I mentioned that on weekly purchases. Yeah, I'm going to go with my heart, man. This is a 2.
All right.
Don't care.
High praise.
Yeah, I know. Get at me.
Next up, SummerSlam 88. The very first one.
Okay, so this is Mega Powers, Mega Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Warrior Man
and Hunky Donkey Man.
Mm-hmm. Hart Foundation versus the Demolition.
This is tough. I'm going to put this at 4.
All right.
4.
Ken Patera versus Bad News Brown also. Okay. Next up for you is...
to you and Joe, and that's about it. You're going to sit here and tell me I'm going to get swayed by a Ken Patera match? Get out of here. You must have bumped your head or something. Not even Don Morocco.
2013.
Oh, that already sounds like Gristle.
Probably one of the better events. You got Christian versus Alberto Del Rio. You've got Cena versus D-Bry, and you've got CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar.
But you also have Bray Wyatt versus Kane in a Ring of Fire match.
I don't think that Christian Del Rio match is on that show. Maybe it is.
It is. It is.
It is okay. All right. I thought I made something up.
No. And it's Beast versus the Best.
Mm-hmm.
Brock and Punk.
And you get the cash in?
2. I already have 2.
Okay.
3.
Now you got 2. Yep.
3.
You got 3. Okay. So you have just 1 and 2 remaining. You're next.
No, I already did 2. 2.
Oh, you already did 2. You've got 5 and 1 remaining.
That doesn't sound
Much
good.
like
I don't like the laugh in your voice.
Next up is SummerSlam 2005.
Ooh.
From Washington, D.C., you've got Batista
this is
versus
Hogan.
JBL.
This is Hogan
Shawn.
and Shawn.
Cena versus Jericho.
You know what, man?
Chris Benoit versus Orlando Jordan.
Give me number 1. Put that 1.
All right. It was a great show. You also got Orton versus Undertaker.
Yes, in the WrestleMania rematch.
Yeah. All right, which means your number 5 is SummerSlam 2022.
Okay. What was SummerSlam 22?
That was the last Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns match with the tractor gimmick.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. And it's the
Becky versus
debut,
Bianca.
It's the debut of Damage Control.
Yep.
You know what, though? I'm actually fine with this being at 5. Because from what I recall, the high point was the main event. And like Double J was special guest referee on that Uso Street Profits match, which was cool. But I don't think there's really anything. I'm looking through this. It's like, nah, no.
I think that Becky Bianca match was really good.
It was rather good. But I stand by it being the worst of the 5 that you listed.
All right.
So everybody's going to fight me over my placement for 94, but suck it. It's my list.
All right. Tim, you had SummerSlam 2022 at 5. You had SummerSlam 88 at 4, SummerSlam 2013 at 3, SummerSlam 94 at 2, and SummerSlam 05 at number 1.
I'm happy with that.
Not bad. Not bad.
I'm happy. Content.
Well, 'tis the season to talk about SummerSlam.
It is.
Summerfest. SummerSlammed out.
The SummerSlam.
The SummerSlam.
Yes, as Brett affectionately dropped all of the Bret Hartisms.
Beautiful clip.
Oh, it was very beautiful. So good. So good.
Yeah, man. In our circles, we had a lot of talks about it being maybe a bland show, it not being great. But how did you personally feel about the show as a whole? And then I guess we can get into the thick of the warm.
I don't really see where there's like a bad part. I don't think there's anything that stands out to me as just like god awful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like most of the time there's a down match. I'm like, there are down matches, but like down doesn't mean bad, right? Like Braun and Sammy. It went 6 minutes. But how down can it be? Braun Breaker's Intercontinental Champion. And like it tells the story of like, okay, when Braun's on fire, he's dominating somebody. Doesn't matter who it is.
Right. Shorter match plays into his hands.
Right, exactly. No, there was no shenanigans. There was no Ilya Dragunov running in. There's no Ludwig Kaiser running in. It's just Braun being Braun and jacking up Sami Zayn. Everything else, though, I mean, again, there's nothing that like absolutely sucked on the card. I think everything carried its weight. I think the one thing we talked about too was like, is it too predictable?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it goes back to what we talked about last week too, of like where Triple H had come out and said like, well, I want for the big moments to happen on big shows. Right? Which is why like a Braun Breaker is an Intercontinental Champion at like Money in the Bank. Or something like that, right? And I understand that. And especially if you're trying, WWE now is in a weird spot because next year SummerSlam gets WrestleMania'd and it becomes a 2-night event.
Does it have one more year before it becomes a 2-night event?
Oh, it's 2026, right?
I think so. I think it has one more year. I think next year is the last one-nighter.
Well, even then, So even with that, even with me being incorrect in how soon that is, the knowledge that SummerSlam is going to be a 2-night event, you need to start treating it even better than you already were, right? Like SummerSlam has been for quite some time now the second biggest event on the WWE calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Royal Rumble, for all the great things you say about Royal Rumble's fine and all, but to me, Royal Rumble does more to set up WrestleMania than anything else.
Right.
And like the Rumble just makes you excited for Mania, where SummerSlam is that summertime Mania. Right? It's that last big kickoff, last big event before the kids go off to school, before, the sun starts coming down a little earlier and Marcus gets real grumpy. We were talking about your seasonal depression yesterday. And they were like, when does it kick in? Is it when the weather starts getting colder? And I'm like, no, it starts when Marcus starts to realize that the days are shorter. It doesn't matter when. Like, it could be a minute shorter. And he's like, it's over. Pack it up. See you in April.
Every day starts getting a little bit worse. And a little bit worse. And a little colder. And a little darker.
That's right.
But enjoy your 2 weeks of leaves falling in 60-degree weather.
That's right. But I don't think predictable is that bad, right? Especially when the predictability goes in line with what everybody wanted for the most part, right? It's the same thing we said about WrestleMania. WrestleMania was very, for lack of a better phrase, chalk, right? Everybody would have expected to win was going to win. There was nothing that really surprised you as far as results came. But I think that's like, does that speak to the stories that are being told? And like the stories, the build up to these matches are being told in such a way that we as the fan base, as the audience, can see what's coming clearly. And then when they execute on it, we're rewarded for following the product all the way through. Like, is that the right thought process for it? Or is it just, I guess that's the question to you. Is predictability in a pay-per-view card or in any sort of card, is predictability in a hyped up card, is it more a reward for a fan base that has followed the product through to the end? Or is it lazy paint by numbers baby firsts booking?
I think it's a little bit of a nuanced answer. And it's not what happens, it's how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think the what at SummerSlam was very predictable. And I think the how was also very predictable. And I think that's where I find fault with this SummerSlam. As opposed to across the aisle looking at AEW pay-per-views or even AEW TV, recently the how has been, oh, that's not what I was expecting. Or I wasn't expecting them to get to it that way.
Right.
With SummerSlam, with the exception of, I guess, the match length time of Steiner and Sammy.
Who is that?
And WWE Superstar Braun Breaker.
Thank you. Just want to make sure.
Outside of that match time and outside of Nia Jackson Bayley's finish, I was not surprised at the how of anything on SummerSlam. In fact, it went exactly how I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you've been checked out of the product for a while, if you just tune back in for SummerSlam and you just use your WWE brain, the how is still the same. And that's disappointing. I'm not going to say it's troubling because like they're doing totally fine with the new generation of fans, but it is like, I wish they try a little bit harder in the how department.
Right. And let us know, whether it be in the Discord or on the YouTube comments, let us know, is predictability in highly anticipated card a reward or troubling? And I'm very curious to see what you guys think about that as well. Of the predictability though, what was the most exciting thing for you? What did you love the most?
I mean, I hate to lead with the biggest first, but for me, it was the big dog,
Right.
the tribal chief, Mr. Uaa, Mr. Smash 'em Stack 'em, and now Mr. Original OTC,
Mr. Over the Counter.
tribal chief.
Mr. Over the Counter, yeah.
Mr. Off the Clock.
That means nobody knows that you got wiener steroids in there.
Yeah. See, because if he was doing Blue Chew, he wouldn't have to be over the counter. He could just get him discreet. And what exactly, if you were to get him discreet, what would you be getting?
Steroid wieners. Wiener steroids.
Thank you. And if that happens, what happens to you?
Resurrection.
Yes, sir.
All right, just wanted to make sure we're all there.
But the return of the big dog.
Yes.
I'm never not gonna be mad at seeing Roman Reigns, but I was like a little too soon, maybe. I don't know. How'd you feel about it? Did you like it? And in turn, like what was your highlight of the show?
I'll answer the highlight of the show thing first, so that way we can get everything out of SummerSlam, I think, before we go into this like very Goldilocks and the Three Bears scenario with Roman Reigns. I personally loved the opener. I liked Liv and Rhea a lot.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Crazy to think Liv Morgan's finally kind of put it together. And yeah, I think it helped she's in there with Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhea's a stud. Rhea's a stud regardless of weight class or gender class or anything. She's best of class. But, Liv is finally at a point of believability for me on the screen. And I don't know, man. I like where how the Judgment Day is being shaken out right now. Dom breaking away finally, actually embracing with Liv. I do like a little bit of doubt that they put on the turn during the match, where it seems like Dom tried to save Rhea from getting disqualified, only to then slide the chair in for Liv. It's a nice touch. It does add a little wrinkle as opposed to just outright costing her straight up. But then also I like Finn finally turning on Damian Priest. And more specifically, I like that Damian Priest wasn't a dumb good guy.
Yeah.
And he watched the video of the replay and actually caught what happened and then caught wise to the extra opponent he has in the match. But we all knew Gunther was going to win. We all knew Finn was going to split up. Even the promo that they set up at SummerSlam with him and Damian. In Finn's promo, I watched too much WWE television. When Finn goes, "I'm sorry," and Finn goes, "I want what's best for the Judgment Day." I'm like, you're saying all these buzzwords that makes me think you're cutting Damian Priest out.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. But it's good. Like, I like it. I do like that now it's perceived that Rhea and Damien are on an island, and the rest of the Judgment Day are split off with themselves.
I hope they keep Rhea and Damian Priest together, like platonically. Like,
Yeah.
I really do enjoy both of them, and I feel like he doesn't drag Rhea down at all, but she pulls him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're just a good act together. And I would like to see them maintain an on-screen friendship.
Right. That's what I want. Like, I want them to be an alliance. Like,
Yeah.
Like Jey Uso and Sami Zayn.
Yes.
They're not together all the time, but you know they're tight, and like they'll run across each other in the hallway and be like, yo, what's up? And then if Rhea's got a problem and she needs a heavy, she's got DP. And like, if Damien's in trouble and needs a little hand, she's got Rhea, or he's got Rhea, you know? But with all that said, Roman Reigns is definitely like a number one with a bullet, the main topic to talk about. Very surprised that it's actually the full-on orchestral endgame theme for Roman now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
It's kind of cheeks.
I don't think you like it.
It's cheeks.
I love it.
It's changed too much.
No, it's
Didn't
just
need to change anything.
they added something in the beginning.
Nah, it lost its guts.
No.
Yeah, no, it lost its guts. It doesn't have any gumption to it.
It would have been better. That theme is better as a match theme. They needed to cut it down for a run-in.
the strolling, but yeah,
right.
Yeah, whatever. The theme is a theme. It is going to be. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying it, but Roman Reigns got Def Rebelled.
No, he did not. No.
He has been Def Rebelled.
No.
I thought he was safe the first time, but you know what? That was just
he had at WrestleMania.
No, it's a red herring.
It is.
No, he got Def Rebelled.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
No, Marcus, please.
In the TNM Show's channel on the STBN Discord, did Roman Reigns get Def Rebelled? Yes, is the answer. It's not good, Tim. All right.
Did not take it back.
No, he did not take it back.
I will not. Unbeknownst to you, he got Def Rebelled.
No, I did not take it back.
So how do you feel about the Tribal Chief coming back, Mr. Tim?
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. And like, so you mentioned, is it too early? Okay. So I wrote down all of the major points that Roman Reigns could come back. And if August 3rd was too soon, then what is, right? What isn't? Okay. Next most important date, Bash in Berlin, August 31.
Roman's not making that trip.
Bad Blood. Before then, first SmackDown on USA, September 13.
I would have placed an opportunity on that.
Right, but okay. Bad Blood, October 5.
Highly unlikely. Not as unlikely as Bash of Berlin.
Right. Crown Jewel, November 2.
Nope.
Okay. Survivor Series, November 30.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
That's where I would have tried to hold off until Survivor Series.
Okay,
But
but does
that
that put
goes
him?
to-
Does that put him in the War Games match?
No. But I think that goes to because I think there's been so much storytelling done on SmackDown without Roman physically there that I think they should do a new bloodline match versus whoever in War Games that doesn't involve Roman. But I don't. To me, Roman coming back accelerates everything, whereas I think that they could have got 2 years out of this new bloodline and like have all this wrapped up at next year's Survivor Series so that you could get to Cody versus Roman part 3, or you could get to Rock versus Roman, whatever it is that you want to get to between those two matches. I thought there was plenty left, but as soon as you bring back Roman, you accelerate everything.
Right. I don't know if you can go 2 years. I don't know.
They went 4 with the last one. Yeah, they could have went another 2 years.
Yes, they went 4 years with it, but also we saw the bloom get knocked off the rose slightly. And it only took WrestleMania 40 and the slapdash miracle job that they did with Solo in giving him a god killer in Jacob Fatu and a smooth assassin in Tama Tonga, and God bless infamous Tongaloa.
The infamous
Yo, my God.
Tongaloa, baby. I love that guy.
Did you see him not get Cody in the corner?
It's not his fault.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love Tongaloa. The infamous, excuse me.
The infamous
Tongaloa.
Infamous
I love
Tongaloa.
that guy.
Oh, Patchy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't think you can go 2 years.
Well,
Roman
I
had to
think
be
he
at
could've.
this mate. Roman's going to be at 41.
Yes, Roman does have to be at 41. I agree with that.
Against who?
Well, we can talk about it in a little bit, pal, in the next
Sure.
segment. But all right, so you're on board. You know, get to Survivor Series, Civil War,
Yeah.
full on Jones.
Because
Okay.
to me, the feud is not Roman Solo. The feud, there is someone above Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to get to that, you have to go through Solo before you can get to there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
I agree.
But you're saying
I just
that's
thought that was gonna be
WrestleMania
another year away.
42, not
That's what I was
41.
thinking. Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't punt on 41 just for that. It's too hot. Like, you gotta strike now.
Well, I think
I'm not
there's something
playing the
else.
futures game too long.
I think there's something else that's too hot to hold off on.
Okay.
All right, well, let's do it. We're here. WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, we're in the pool.
I'm going Rock versus Cody.
You know there's 2 nights of WrestleMania, right?
I do. And I
They can
don't
do
think they're
both.
going to go back. I don't think they're going to do it again. They're not going to do both. Especially not The Rock working both nights. No way.
Mm.
No, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I still think the biggest match they can do with the most heat is Rock versus Cody.
Maybe.
I thought those two had a ton of chemistry.
I think so,
Cody gets
too.
to play his part perfectly. I think Rock gets to play bad guy, which he's pretty good at. I would do Rock versus Cody. And if you're going to have Cody's title reign go at least 1 year, which as soon as he won it, it's like, this is going at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I thought he should have lost at SummerSlam.
Right.
With it going a full year, I don't think you can afford to have a lame duck challenger at 42 or 41.
I'm not sure who. I'm trying to think
If
of
you
like
win it from Roman, then who is a viable challenger?
right now. If we're
Like-
talking futures of 41, right? Early
Yeah.
odds on favorites to win the Rumble. You got to think Cena.
Sure.
You got to think Randy Orton.
Always put money on the Viper.
Always put money on the Viper Man.
Always sprinkle on the Viper.
You can easily think Solo again. Solo and the Bloodline could run through the Rumble like Orton and Legacy did. So it could very well be Solo Cody at WrestleMania. Which then gets you to Roman Solo heading into 42. Punk is an option, but I think Punk's going to be tied up with Seth and or Drew.
Personal stories, her
Personal effects. By the way, did you see that really stupid article that's going around that the fan who made the CM Punk friendship bracelet with Larry and AJ is now looking for compensation because that piece of jewelry is now part of the storyline? Yeah, it's fun. It's out there. I promise you that dumb story is out there, folks.
That's funny.
It is funny. I think if you get to Cody Rock being a match, I don't think it's going to sound weird.
And to add to it, they did the Rock thing where you set up the match the night after the last WrestleMania.
Right, they did. I don't know if I want that to be for the WWE title, though.
Cody versus Rock?
Yeah.
Then whether stakes like, oh, Rock, I don't like you, something about my dad versus your dad, your granddad. No, you got to have the belt, especially like.
I know
they
you
decided
have
to go with Cody.
I'm not saying I wasn't saying that that it doesn't need it. I don't like it. That's my thing.
Even though Rock said like, "Hey, I'm coming back to challenge you for that at some point."
He came back and said, "I've never held that."
But he said, "I will like be back to challenge you at some point." Like I'm pretty sure Rock said that at some
Rock
point.
Said, he said, the Rock said, "You don't know when, you don't know where, but I'll be back."
Yeah.
He gave him the final boss talk.
Final boss clause.
Final clause. Red one. That movie's gonna suck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it being for the title. It's nah. It goes along the lines of like predictability, right? But if it's Cody and Rock at Mania, then where does Roman fit? Is it Roman Solo? Or does Roman have another challenge, another matchup that he goes and faces?
Well, what do you got on top of WrestleMania?
To me, I thought it was going to be me thinks it's Rock Roman.
Okay.
Because I think Rock is in charge of Solo's bloodline.
I don't disagree. Like, as things got accelerated, I don't disagree. I feel like that is the path that they are on now.
Right. Which means Cody is now open. And Cody, it could be Cody Cena. It could be Cody Randy.
Yeah.
Because now
I think that
Bud?
that Randy match is in play because we kind of keep waiting for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
the longer Roman stays engaged with Cody, the doomsday clock continues to tick until Viperville opens up and takes on Cody Rhodes. It's only a matter of time, right? But the reason why I think all that now is because I think that the thought process for Survivor Series changes. I think now Survivor Series shifts its focus, and the men's War Games match is Damian Priest and his team versus the remaining Judgment Day.
Ooh, okay.
I think that Raw gets that. And then the women's title, or the women's War Games match, is the SmackDown side. It's Nia, Tiffy, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn versus Bianca, Jade, Bailey, and Naomi. Like, that's your 4-on-4 women on SmackDown. And then your men's is the Judgment Day stuff. And then you can loop in Jey Uso in with Damian. What's Bad Bunny doing? Maybe bring in the Bad Bunny. You've got the LWO stuff too. Like, you can pull in Ray. I
don't think any of that's happened to him.
Well, now that Liv is the women's champion, the number one there's still that unresolved tension with Zelina Vega. And now that Liv and Dom are together and Zelina's a part of the LWO, she's with Ray, you stretch it out over a couple of months.
Not for no Survivor Series.
Yes, for Survivor Series.
No.
Teams of 4 strive to survive, man. What are you talking about? In the War Games.
All right, so I've got Rock versus Roman, or you've got Rock versus Roman. That's what you would do.
I've
got Cody versus Rock. That's my top match. Do you have a next match underneath?
Punk Rollins.
Okay.
Me, it's Punk Rollins.
Okay. I don't think they can wait that long. I think at some point we get a triple threat.
Punk, Rollins, and McIntyre.
Rollins and McIntyre. Yeah. I
think they can set that up at WrestleMania, maybe. Or set that up at Royal Rumble for Mania.
I was gonna go with Cody Rock on top. I was gonna go with my man Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Taking on I think they run back Meth Rollins.
Him and Drew?
I think they run it back, yeah.
I think if Seth does not have CM Punk, then Seth has Gunther.
Well, I think they got McIntyre, Rollins, and Walter. Because I was thinking, like, I'd be dope if they could run back, like, McIntyre, Sheamus, and Walter, but I think that might be, like, Bash of Berlin.
I think Bash in Berlin is going to be Gunther and... it's going to be Gunther and Damian Priest again.
Rematch, Jones?
Yeah.
I think they already go to... I think that's the first match between Balor and Priest.
Maybe. But then who does Gunther have?
I think he's got Sheamus either way. I think he's got Sheamus. I think that's his first challenger.
But Sheamus looks like a big joke right now on Raw. He just got worked over by little Pete Dunne.
He's got to win a couple matches and he's in, man. I mean, AJ Styles wasn't in great shape heading into going back to back versus Cody.
Right. That's true too. But I think for me, Seth Gunther at WrestleMania, that's 1-on-1. That's good. I guess maybe McIntyre Punk can make it that far.
Mr.
Maybe.
Phil gets his win back.
I think that's where Punk blows it off.
Okay.
Right? Especially if both titles are going to be accounted for. Well, we haven't figured out who the number one contender. We haven't figured out who Cody's challenger is, unless it's Cena or Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Or does Cody lose the belt before WrestleMania and like lose it at the Royal Rumble per se?
I don't think so.
Because there is
thoughts. I think he's going a full year.
There is thoughts of like Cody losing at the Royal Rumble to Randy Orton, and Cena wins the Rumble, and then you get Cena Orton for the title at Mania.
Yeah, can't see that happening.
Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Entertainment.
No, the only thing I feel like is going to happen at WrestleMania, I feel like at some point we're getting Punk and Owens.
Okay, I can see Punk Owens.
And I feel like we're not going to have forever with this run of CM Punk.
And is that because somebody sucked all the calcium out of his bones? Or
no, I just think that this guy only has probably a handful of matches every year left. And how many years does he probably have left? And WWE is always seemingly trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, younger. I don't know. Realistically, how many WrestleManias do you think CM Punk has left? 2? 3?
No. More?
I will take the under gladly.
I think he has more manias, I think he has more manias but less appearances.
Then that's like not a injury dig. Oh man, you know what? I just remembered the match that I had. Hold on, scrap that Rollins McIntyre Walter thing.
Yeah,
WrestleMania. It's Lesnar and Walter.
You think Brock's back by then?
Yeah, I do. Sure do. Sure do. Might even win the Royal Rumble.
That's the one thing we don't need.
I don't know. He might do it. I'm not saying he should, but.
So now you're saying you're not saying I don't. I agree. Like I believe that Cody Rock would be for the WWE title, but I don't like it. That's how you feel about Brock and Gunther. It's like I don't want Brock to win the Royal Rumble, but it's gonna happen.
It's a good shot. He's probably even money right now.
I don't know, man.
I think
I might be fully happy if I never saw Brock again.
I liked on At Odds when we were talking about like what would the lines be for this match, and in my head I'm like making up making up lines.
Oh, I knew you were. I was too.
I
was setting the line.
Yeah.
So on top,
do you have anything else for?
So like our big 4 matches then is Brock Gunther, Rock Roman, Punk versus, I guess, Punk Rollins then. We're going to get to Punk Rollins. And then we'll get Cody versus Randy Cena.
I don't think Cena's in that match.
I think at WrestleMania it has to be some form of Cena and Randy.
I'm not going to say John Cena stinks. That's not realistic. I don't think John Cena has. I think he's too aware of a worker right now to put himself or allow himself to be put in that position.
Right.
John Cena will be working a big match underneath.
And that's why I think it might be
pulling
Randy.
Somebody up.
Who's he gonna pull up? Grayson Waller?
I think it is a lot more likely that it is something to that effect.
Now we're just talking about how useless this farewell tour is gonna be. That's a whole nother podcast conversation. That's a whole nother episode. If you're asking me.
Pal.
That's a deep cut, as some would like to say.
All right. Well, not too bad of a first rough draft. A little rough, but we are still plenty far out from WrestleMania. We got a lot of stops.
This is literally just
before we even get on the road.
It's the first possible stop you can make on the train that gets you from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. It's a long first connector.
I think something that's becoming clear in the Paul Triple H Levesque era of booking in WWE is that SummerSlam is very much his. Again, you always say like Casino Royale.
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlam is very much his, like, that's where he breaks up his groups. That's where he brings in his groups. That is where he again has the big stuff happen, as he put it. But you can usually very clearly see the steps he wants to take towards WrestleMania getting planted at SummerSlam.
Right. I can easily see that his booking schedule in his head is everything starts at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. It plays to WrestleMania. And then WrestleMania to SummerSlam is your WrestleMania Fallout season.
Yeah.
That's where you tie up all your loose ends from WrestleMania. You maybe have your blow off for that at SummerSlam. And then SummerSlam is your springboarding point for the next 9 months of wrestling.
Yep.
It is crazy though to look at the WWE roster, WWE schedule right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 events now. There are 6 premium live events between now and WrestleMania 41.
Okay.
And the dates kind of make me mad.
So we got the Bash of Berlin at the end of the month.
August 31st.
We
Got nothing
Blood.
in September at all.
Right. Bad Blood, early October.
October 5th.
We got the Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, November 2nd.
The Survivor Series.
November 30.
We have Royal Rumble.
Are
they doing day one?
1st? No day one.
Okay. All right. Then you got Royal Rumble February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have Elimination Chamber, and you will have Survivor Series.
WrestleMania.
Or WrestleMania. Yeah.
And WrestleMania is April 19th and 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Elimination Chamber is going to be that, like, first week in April or first week in March.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing. But even then, Elimination Chamber is not really announced.
Right.
Like, there could be nothing happening from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania.
Well,
highly unlikely.
Because they'll need those shows serve as a big ad for WrestleMania.
Right, because it definitely clears up whoever does not win the Royal Rumble side of the house.
Yeah.
There is a purpose for Elimination Chamber.
I mean, sneakily, Elimination Chamber has been a crutch of the company between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania going back to, 2008?
Yeah, because No Way Out.
So, yeah, it's low-key been like 15 plus years.
Low-key indeed. Like, just not necessarily the most clever tool. But it beats having to do like I don't know how other way you would find the number one contender for any other given title. That's that's creative enough like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I just hate that it's in an elimination chamber. Like, I hate that people are like happy to be in an elimination chamber. It's like, oh, I'm fighting for the right to be in the elimination chamber. It's like, no, the elimination chamber should be like, oh man, I'm in this thing.
I'm fighting.
Like, I really hate
get to go to hell.
Right. Like, I really hate everybody who I'm in here with, and I'm trying to hurt everybody. But like, dang, I'm gonna be hurting for real.
Right.
That's what elimination chamber should be. And instead it's like qualifiers to get to, like, it's not climbing up a ladder, you know, it's surrounded by 2 tons of steel chain.
6 miles of chain.
Yeah, whatever.
2 tons of steel, 6 miles of chain.
Yeah.
It used to be much worse, but then they watered it down and put pads down. Backdrops on a steel grate. That's what I want.
Dude, it was gnarly.
I know. Good on the WWE for health proofing the elimination chamber, right?
No.
Make
it dangerous again.
Make it all dangerous again. Fair. Yeah, man. I was doing the homework of like notable dates because talking about Roman Reigns and like writing everything down. I can't believe that the Netflix deal is like right here essentially.
Right, January, right?
January 25.
What snuck up on me was the SmackDown on USA.
And
I forgot that was like a new
to the
season
CW.
Deal. Well, that doesn't bother me, but
oh, come on. Somebody's got to be able to follow Obafemi with me.
Well, good luck, pal. You and Adam.
No,
you can have your Femi watch, and
no,
Adam has
he's a Lex offender.
So yeah, the dates are coming quickly. Did they announce what Raw's gonna do in between being on USA and
I believe
Netflix?
I believe they have worked in principle a short-term deal that extends their 2024 time period on USA to December 31st.
Okay. I had heard that, like, hey, we have a plan, but I didn't hear like what the plan was or
Let me
what the
see if I can
speculation
actually
on the plan
find.
So that makes sense. I figured it was something close to either that or it was like a move to sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like a channel that would be happy to have the extra views.
Yeah, from Deadline, May 5th or May 8th, WWE Monday Raw to stay on USA through year end before Netflix shift. Rights extension with NBCU valued at $25 million. So WWE made an extra $25 million to keep Raw on USA Network through 2024.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep finding money. That's crazy.
$25 million for September through December. It's not bad.
Yeah. So I'm sure soon we'll be talking rights deals for AEW as that continues to be a thing.
Yeah, I think the last piece of news with a Z I saw was like Tony Khan was in France talking with Warner Brothers Discovery people.
I saw a speculation that the exclusive negotiating window had closed.
Okay.
Or was rumored to have closed, but I don't think they're going anywhere.
No.
Yeah. We've been over that.
We have. We have definitely.
What else you got for us, Mr. Tim?
As far as anything else goes, I'm doing some thinking. Let me go through my notes. We've got we did that. This.
And now, Tim Taylor presents The Undertaking.
Well, you heard it. Oh, you heard it here first. It's another undertaking, And this week, The Undertaker had on professional arm lifter Michael Todd.
Arm wrestler?
Arm wrestler. Surprisingly, no Scott Norton talk. They do mention Over the Top a little bit. But it's a pretty wholesome hour and a half talk. If you want to see The Undertaker get beat up in arm wrestling, watch the very end. He gets
his little arm didn't break.
He gets man-childed by a dude who's like 5 inches shorter than him.
He's got the leverage. That's why.
Well, no,
he's underneath.
Undertaker should have the leverage because he's over top of him and he can like push him down. See, I watched it. So there's different techniques to arm wrestling. It's very weird. But they ask who's the best WWE superstar who could have been an arm wrestler, and immediately Undertaker says Kane.
Okay.
Which, of course, like if you go back and look at like freakishly strong Kane,
yeah,
in like late 99 or late 90s into the 2000s,
yeah,
my man was.
He's huge. He's huge. He is insanely huge.
He was Diana Balled out. He was full in. But there's two things I want to talk about from that are kind of Undertaking adjacent. So, did you listen to At Odds with Wrestling this week?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yes, I did. So Adam Van mentioned that he has a new favorite drink.
That's right. He mentioned it. It was something about Dad.
Happy Dads.
Happy Dad. There we go.
Happy Dad hard liquor, and hard seltzer, and he got that from Ronald Two Legs. Shout out to Ronnie Deuces. But he is a big Happy Dad guy. You know what's funny, Marcus? Do you know who else is big on Happy Dad?
Oh, no.
Mark from Texas.
Oh, boy.
So much so that Happy Dad is a sponsor of 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. So, I personally have not bought anything that Mark from Texas has tried to sell me. But Adam loves Happy Dad. I think Adam's the biggest Undertaker fan in the soon to be named network.
I think this is you trying to pawn off the Undertaking onto Adam.
No. No. I would never.
Adam already has his cross to bear. He's worked himself into a shoot.
He's got Lexus King.
Would you rather have the Lexus King moment of the week, or would you rather have the Undertaking?
I would rather have the Undertaking.
Yeah, same.
I would rather have the Undertaking because Lexus King ain't gonna say this.
Back in the saddle.
That's right.
You got a little dead man setting up, huh?
I ain't never gonna hear Lexus King say that ever.
So you said there was two things. What was the second thing?
So the second thing kind of goes along with the Happy Dad talk. This is more of just a fun little question for us. So Mark from Texas has all these sponsors. He's got like a hemp pouch for his like it's kind of like dipping snuff, but it's not snuff. It's like hemp CBD.
It's medicine.
It's medicine. Like ginger ale.
Little medicine pouch.
Little medicine pouch and lip deal. And like first they're sponsored by First Form and Happy Dad and of course Blue Chew and it's like some other like military made deodorant or whatever called Mango. But it made me think, Marcus, if Final Wrestling Place could have a sponsor and it not be steroids, Right. I mean, some would say it's the logical next step. But what do you think would be a fun sponsor for us if we were fortunate enough to go into the sponsorship game? We're so far from it, but I just find it interesting to think about, like us having to do like ad reads for things.
I think one of those sparkling daddies would be good. One of them water sodas.
Spicy waters?
A spicy water, yeah.
Like which one?
I don't know. I saw there was some new one at the store, and I was like, "Oh, this is new." I don't remember what the brand was or whatever, but yeah, a spicy water sponsorship would be pretty clutch.
See, I don't know, man, because I don't like seltzer water at all. I don't like the spice. I don't like spicy water. I don't like sparkling
What if it was
water.
a sponsor?
I mean, I'd have to read it and drink it, but I wouldn't like it. That's just not for me. That's just not my style.
What's your ideal sponsor?
I don't know. Pizza. Just generic pizza sponsorship.
Sponsored by pizza.
It's like pork or milk. Like, if I could just get pizza to sponsor us, I'd be down to be the faces of like pizza bagels again. If LA Knight can revitalize the Slim Jim market, me and you could talk about pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. Because when pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
No, I'm not a fan of pizza bagels.
Well, I'm not a fan of sparkling water, so you know you know what it boils down to now? We just got to be Totino's pizza rolls, dudes.
It's a happy medium.
Yeah. And like just us doing an ad read housing a 90 count bag of Totino's pizza rolls, like the good old days. Until our hearts explode. That's what's going to explode our hearts. Us trying to run back the clock on pizza rolls. Holy crap. I want to so bad to like try to do stuff we used to do like 15 years ago and fail.
Just not built like that no more. Oh my gosh.
We can't go. We can't use medicine. We cannot cheat.
No Tums.
No Tums, no Prilosec, no nothing. You just got a raw dog 90 pizza rolls. That sounds horrible.
Ooh, yeah. I'd be out of commission for a day or two. Not gonna lie.
I don't even know if I could do a 20 count nugget at McDonald's anymore. That's too many nugs.
Yeah. That's so many.
When was the last time you had McDambles?
I don't know.
You used to live by McDonald's.
You used to, but I don't know, man. I'm older.
Yeah?
Older. Yeah. Now I gotta be half naked sometimes. It's not conducive to my lifestyle.
That's true.
It could determine my death style.
Do you eat fast food at all anymore?
Sure. Like, I don't know, once every couple weeks, probably go to Wendy's because they're close by. The food's always hot at this one. They got them spicy nugs.
I don't know where the Wendons is near you now.
Oh, they just put it up by the 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So the saucy nugs, those are my jam.
I love them.
The honey barbecue, of course.
Of course, you pick honey barbecue with your baby
you know
mouth.
Me, baby. You know me with the baby mouth.
Yo, those buffalo nugs are sick. I love it.
That sounds like pain.
It's perfect, dude.
All right.
Heck yeah. I'm not a Scoville chaser, but I'll do some buffalo.
Okay.
I like my sauce. Sauce.
Oh man, got any weekly purchases as we are in the shadows of San Diego Comic-Con? Yeah,
nah,
did you end up pre-ordering anything else?
I have not pre-ordered anything. I have not purchased anything. I've been a good boy this week, surprisingly so. I do have Madden coming up in like a couple of weeks, but I already paid for that, so Madden doesn't count. I don't know, man. I'm kind of in the clear. I do need to figure out what I'm doing for the consortium's birthday. Consortium's birthday is in 2 weeks. So you got to do some thoughts on that. I was thinking about just doing like an experience with her, like
Experiences are always good.
Going somewhere, doing something.
Yeah.
We just got to figure out what, where, and like what to do with the dog. That's the hardest part.
And if it doesn't go well, it's out of your control.
It's out of my hands.
Best part. Yeah, birthday season for sure.
Yeah, you kayfabe. You got
kayfabe. No, I got one coming up this week as well.
Yeah,
which means so does Tatum. So happy birthday, Tatum!
There you go. Congratulations. Shout out to our big man Josh.
Josh got a big birthday coming up.
He's 2 days after you, right?
Yes,
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was tragically embarrassed. I guess we can close out the podcast with this conversation. I always struggle with knowing when Marcus's birthday is. I always think it's one day and it's not.
Correct.
It's not. So much so that the first year we moved away from each other, we both lived together in Virginia, and then he moved to Pennsylvania, and then I followed him shortly thereafter. But his first year in PA, I made a whole big deal of like, yeah, man, I'm going to come up to see you for your birthday. It was like your 20th birthday. You're still a young lion to me. And so it's his 20th birthday, and I'm like, yo, I'm coming up. I'll be there in time by midnight on the 6th. And you were like, okay, yeah, cool. And I'm like, why isn't he more excited about this? Like, I'm going to be there in time at midnight for his birthday. We'll spend the whole day together for his birthday. And I hoof it, and I'm like 20 minutes late. So it's like 12:20, pulling in. And I'm like, hey, man, happy birthday. And you go, it's tomorrow. I'm like, what? I hustled all this way to be a day early?
It'd be a day early.
And I was just like, all right, I'm going to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Man, but yeah, like I struggled so hard to like remember that, like, no, his birthday is the 7th. It's 8/7. And then like with Josh and A being 8/9, like that kind of makes sense. But even then, like,
Terry got a birthday coming up too.
I don't know him.
I don't know him, but Hollywood Hogan has a birthday. I will wish Hollywood Hogan a happy birthday.
Screw him. Doesn't Mike Trout have a birthday coming up?
Sure does.
You and Mike Trout have a birthday together.
Yes.
You know, really birthday, good baseball player, Mike Trout. Yeah. I'm trying to think though, but I always struggle with like dates so much so that like I didn't necessarily know when me and Megan's non-wedding anniversary was until you had your baby. And our little bundle of joy is born on the same day as our anniversary. So now I will never forget it. Because like I got
the triple stamp with the double stamp.
It's there. It's locked in. I guess like what kind of mnemonic devices do you have? Like any mnemonic devices in play, like in your head of like when to remember people's birthdays?
Sure don't.
Do you put it in your phone?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because I embarrassingly forgot. I forgot when Brett's birthday was. In a little side chat, I was like, "Oh man, I love my October brother or my August brothers." He's like, "I was born in September," and I was like, and I edited the text messages like, "I love my cool dude brothers." I'm like, what do you mean? What are you saying? What are you trying to say?
The person who trips me up the most is our very own Papa Joe.
Yeah,
I swear he's got like 4 different birthdays a year, and I will text him and be like, "Hey man, like, is today it?" And he'll be like, "No." I'll be like, "All right," and then I'll text him on his actual birthday, and he'll be like, "Yeah, it's my actual birthday." I'm like, "All right."
Who does he share his birthday with? Is it him and Foley, or is that Todd and Foley? There's a bit on Longbox Heroes where like Todd shares his birthday with somebody that like Todd shares his birthday with somebody that Joe loves, and Joe shares his birthday with somebody that Todd loves. I have to remember. I think Joe shares his with like Clint Eastwood, and Todd shares his with Mick Foley. I don't know. My Longbox Heroes lore it's tough. It's tough following. I have so many other things. I have Blue Chew ads to follow on the Undertaker's podcast. Other trivial knowledge has to be vacated at some point. Besides, Joe didn't even want to celebrate his birthday, so which then of course I'll be 40 in like a year and a half, and I'm scared. So
let's go.
No, let's not. Let's pretend we did already. Just get there. I gotta figure out what I'm doing for 40. That's nuts too. But we're belaboring the point. Marcus, did you have any weekly purchases?
Nothing for me.
Man, tightened up the show. A little bit of a nice short episode this week for the podcast, and that's all right. We thank you guys so much for joining us. A big shout out to our other pod adjacent friends over at We Need Wrestling with Joe and Adam, or We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett, and At Odds of Wrestling with Joe and Adam. Love all you guys. Shout out to the Wiki. You're awesome. Wings on Wings. Awesome. Everybody who follows along on Discord, everybody who follows along on YouTube, we see the comments. We appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be on the lookout for more stuff coming up. Like I said, Marcus and I are game planning. We're thinking of other things we can do. More content for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. But if you want to follow us on social media, you absolutely can. At Not a Tool Man for me, at the Wrestling Speakeasy for Marcus. If you know, you know. At TNM Shows on Twitter, at Final Wrestling Place on Instagram. We're all there for you. Be sure to just follow us there. We'll let you know whenever shows are posted up and live. Make some noise in the TNM Shows channel on the Discord, the soon to be named network Discord, soon to be named network.tumblr.com. All of that fun stuff. Do you have anything to plug, or are you in the clear for that?
In the clear for plugs, my man.
Cool. Until then, next week I'm sure we'll be talking something on the road to All In. We'll figure some other stuff out. But we thank you guys for joining us this week and every other week in perpetuity. But right now, Marcus, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, boys.